I'm Eric Miranda. I'm head of product and ecosystem here at Tulip, and welcome to the Tulip Experience Center. So the first place we're going to go to today in the Tulip Experience Center is our discrete assembly bay. So what you see here is a discrete assembly operation for a consumer product. In this case, we're making a yo-yo. What you see here is the engineering view, how you would actually build and configure these applications, deploy them to the shop floor, and then the operator view, how would you actually interact with these applications. You'll see this configuration on all of the benches that we go to, the engineering view and the operator view. So the first thing we're doing here is a very simple work instruction application. We're incorporating things like branching logic to make the assembly variant specific. We're also doing things like integrating this set of work instructions to the backend ERP. We're queuing the work orders from SAP in this case, and that's informing which of the branches of work instructions we're going to be following here. After you go through this first step, you're going to print out a QR code, you're going to put it in the assembly, it's going to go on the conveyor. This conveyor is being actuated through an integration with an Edge IO through Node-RED. That's simply turning the conveyor on. The Cognex here is pulling that QR code, and it's going to go ahead and queue that job at the next station. What you see here is a basic inspection operation. So we're going to go ahead and confirm that the yo-yo meets all of the critical to quality parameters, and then when that's done, we're going to go ahead and send that message back to SAP and mark that order complete. Now, from any of these stations, you might run out of inventory, in which case you could request inventory out. And then this, what you're seeing here, is a material replenishment system. So if I requested inventory, it would go ahead and light up the appropriate bin here. And you could say, okay, this is in fact what I need to go grab. And if this bin, I can control the inventory levels. If I'm running low on inventory here, this can order additional parts from a water spider to be picked up. You know, and I can monitor all of the components that I have in inventory here using this application here. Again, material replenishment systems is what's being showcased on this station. Up above here, this is our performance dashboard. So you can see real-time status for all of the stations in this bay. You can see how my output today is performing relative to target. You can see my hourly scorecard. What's the output relative to target for the hour that I'm in right now? Overall performance, and then most interestingly perhaps is total dollars saved year to date. So you can track all of the components of cost here and impact, and there's no reason to not translate that into dollars saved and make that transparent for everyone in the operation to see. Now, moving over here, now what we're doing is we're taking a look at some of the vision capabilities that Tulip offers. Now, all of the stations that we have running on the floor today have some version of computer vision layered into them. They might do things as simple as tracking where a hand is being placed and tracking bin picks and things like this, or they might be doing more sophisticated things like automatic anomaly detection on a PCB, for example. This is just a station that's going to give you a deep dive and showcase some of those specific features, and then how can they be applied to your operation. Now, typically when we get to this part of the demo, most of our customers or prospects say, look, that's all well and good, but it's light years ahead of where we are today. We're still tracking this stuff on pen and paper. We've got a big monolithic MES system, maybe, but we're a long way from realizing this future state of the operation. And what we're showing you here is how Stanley Black Decker, one of our global partners, has standardized their internal operations on Tulip specifically. What you see here are quite literally a few applications from their internal library, and you can see how those applications are being used, the problem that they're solving, and then how those apps are they're standardizing process across 156 operations globally under the Stanley Black Decker brand, making things like, you know, this Craftsman impact driver or some of the other DeWalt tools that most folks are familiar with. So let's go ahead. We're going to leave the discrete assembly bay, and now we're stepping into DMG Mori's production facility in Fronton. Now, DMG Mori is another global partner of Tulip. Every DMG Mori machine that ships is built soup to nuts with Tulip at every station. So what you're looking at here are two stations that we pulled out of their front-end facility and dropped in the Tulip Experience Center. And this is guiding the assembly and the quality inspection for this particular item here, which is the sort of the heart of the big DMG Mori machine. Now, this is how the machines are built. This is how the machines are managed once they're actually deployed on the shop floor. On the other side of this wall, we have 4 DMG Mori machines, and on this dashboard, we're capturing real-time status of these machines. So you can see, are they up? Are they down? If they're down, why did they go down? And make sure that we're getting OEE and the components of OEE visible across the shop floor. If we take a quick look around the corner here, if the dashboard is what you see across the whole of the operation for a machining cell, this is the application that actually runs on the machine. So every DMG Mori machine that ships has Tulip on board, and this is an example of one of those applications. Obviously here everything is configurable, but some of the things that this particular application is capturing are, jobs queued. What job should I work on next? Things like shift notes. If a machine goes down, why is the machine down? Starting to unpack OEE beyond just, is the machine down? We want to understand why is the machine down and what are some of the things that I should be focused on to actually improve overall efficiency. Now, we're going to totally switch gears now. We're leaving our discrete assembly operations, and now we're going to step into the life sciences space. So the first thing that I want to show you in our life sciences corner is an operation that's going to be taking place under this laminar flow hood. This is a simple weigh and dispense operation. So on this application here, I can go ahead, I can queue my job, I can specify the recipe that I'm going to be weighing and dispensing, and then I can do things like make sure that this line is clear and ready for me to perform this operation. I can make sure that the equipment is current and has been calibrated via the log books that are integrated on this station as well. And I can as I go through this weigh and dispensing application, I can start my electronic batch record. Now, that electronic batch record, after I get all of my components printed and sealed, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to have a label. And that batch is now going to move over here to a mixing operation. Now, everything that you've seen so far, no problem to run these things on a standard touchscreen or a tablet or an iPhone or something like that. But there are environments, particularly in heavy industries or in life sciences, where it doesn't make sense to be using a tablet. You might be doing an operation in which both of my hands are required to perform that operation. And in those cases, the purpose of this station is to show that Tulip seamlessly runs on any internet-connected device. In this case, we're going to be talking about the RealWear headset. So, an operator or a technician can go ahead and put the RealWear headset on and can interact with these applications that you've seen up until this point via a different interface like the RealWear or the HoloLens is another demo that we have in here. Now, last but not least, we have our printer fleet management. We have an application that's tracking real-time status of these Form 3Bs. Now, these Form 3s print biocompatible material. What we're doing here is we're tracking where are they in their job, when are they going to be finished, if I wanted to pull up a CAD of what's being printed, and then finally guiding me through the inspection process for, once this is printed, does it meet quality requirements, and if not, how can I report that and start to keep track of my first pass yield and my quality output from these devices. Now, we showed you discrete operations. We talked about how Stanley Black Decker is running this across all of their sites, how DMG Mori is running this across all of their sites. We have a number of life sciences customers. What you see in this room is a real-time view into the whole of the global industrial base running Tulip. So anybody that's interacting with Tulip you can see anonymized, obviously, but in real time, we're going to be able to see those events, and that's going to show up as either a yellow or a blue dot, depending on the nature of the interaction with Tulip. But again, this is a real-time view into the whole of the Tulip customer base. Thanks for joining, and hopefully we'll get you here in person soon.